I'm giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashim, Al-Shai, Bashim, Al-Kakodash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to make this super quick video, and I'm going to entitle this video, these are all the videos I put up since October 12th. So it's November 1st, 2025, of course. And so this is actually 18 days of videos. 18 day from the 12th, 18, 19. Well, 18. Look at this. These are all videos. Whether they're an hour long, 2 hours. One of them was 7 hours long that I'm putting it up in increments. Look at this. These are all the videos that I put up. Look at that. That's in 18 days. 18 days. And you want ahead. Matter of fact. Okay, this is capture 1. Going all the way down to capture 85. That's 85 videos in less than 3 weeks. 85 videos. Now, I've been doing videos lately on IUIC, the outer country camps. Them guys don't put up anything. And if they put up anything, it's, 10 minutes here, 2 minutes there. These, not totally knocking the IUIC members that do put up videos, because we get on them, but they say a lot of good things, go into a lot of good scriptures. So we're going to say some good things about them, right? But they don't have 100% truth, and they know that they don't have 100% truth. If you ain't teaching, you should start teaching. It's not November 1st, brand new start, brand new month. Surprise your congregation, tell them, look, the mark of the beast is the microchip, because you're going to have to say it anyway, or you're going to have to keep that lie going. So the ball is in your court. But I went to certain IUIC YouTube pages, one of them, Jamaica, nothing, very little of nothing. I did more video, and some of them camps, I don't know about Jamaica. I believe Jamaica, they started their YouTube page, I don't know, more than 10 years ago. I think Nigeria, more than 10 years ago. And I do more videos in less than a month than you might have did time-wise too, because my videos are 50 minutes, a half an hour, 20 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours. The longest video I ever did, and I still got to put the rest of them up and put them up in increments, is a 7-hour long video. So what's up with y'all? This shows you that the Spirit ain't with y'all. The Holy Spirit is not with y'all, man. Like I said, I'm not knocking, the IUIC camps that are constantly pushing this work, which is beautiful. I ain't gonna talk bad about y'all, but these other camps that you set up, you're gonna set up them other camps and not get them. The fact that they're not doing, look, if there was a GMS camp, GMS whatever, GMS Anywhere USA or whatever, and they put, in a month, on an average, they put up maybe 5 or 6 videos, and 5 and 6 videos doesn't even add up to an hour, and it's constant. Guess what? You're gonna get a call. You're gonna get a call, especially if there's a bunch of y'all. If there's a handful of y'all, let's say there's 12, 10 of y'all, 5 of y'all, whatever. No excuse. We're gonna find out what's going on. We're gonna give you have the decency to find out what's going on. And if you come up with some bullshit, we're gonna say, look, you're no longer a part of GMS. I suggest you call the IUIC because you can get away with that shit. And that makes the IUIC looks bad. Like I said, you major IUIC camps that are constantly pushing this word, I applaud you. But you got to get 100% truth. And you know you don't have 100% truth. Bishop Nate, you know you don't have 100% truth. And so you couldn't even say it. I dare you. I double dare you to say it. You got 100%. You ain't got 100% truth. That's why the two pit bulls are getting on y'all. Yeah, you understand? Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. But you see it, right? You see it? I didn't even realize, I said, damn, I did these many videos in about less than 20 days? God damn. Anyway, I'll leave it up for now. And I did another video, you know what, let me see. Well, I'll put it up next, or I do want to get into a video that, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it, because it got me hyped. The elder Malcolm, the head of the GMS Chicago camp, he put up a video and it got me hyped. I was watching the video and I said, hey, sometimes when I'm watching the videos, I can't even watch the whole video. I got to get up and make not a counter, but a response to it. Yeah, this thing got me hyped. You know what? Let me go ahead and play most of the video. If it comes up in my notification, because a lot of videos, one video I did, I got a lot of hits, and I went to check the notification. It was in a notification. A lot of videos I do don't even come up in notification on my side. I want to try to find this here. I thought I subscribed to him, man. I subscribed to him in my other account. I get all of his videos. Damn, I should have him. You know what? Let me do it this way. Forgive me, y'all. Matter of fact, let me. See, you gotta hype people up, man. You gotta get the people roused up. Didn't Peter say that? To stir up your pure minds? Didn't he say that? So when we do these videos, it stirs up your pure mind. Jamaica has the most churches per square mile of any country in the world. Damn. That's why the Most High damned them. And the little two YouTube IUIC videos in Jamaica, they don't do it. I can go to see you lying. I can go to the video. I did a video on it. So guess what? What the Most High, they fan their hand at the Israelites, which happen to be the IUIC, and then GMS is down there too, and maybe other camps. And there's no excuse. You have the videos, even if IUIC didn't go down there, but IUIC went down there, and I'll give them another hand. They went down there, and guess what? Y'all, threw it back in their face. No, we don't want it. So what do? Oh, we went to Jamaica. There's a couple of there ain't nobody, coming into this thing. So you shake the dust. You shake, and the Most High spiritually made you shake the dust by not getting on these guys, because there ain't no way in fucking hell a GMS camp, average a month each and every month. You got a pattern of. I'm sounding like a broken record. I said this before. I'm saying it again. The Spirit making me say it. You got a pattern where you do 4 or 5 videos and they don't even add up to an hour. You don't belong in GMS. I want to be a part of the camp. Join IUIC. You can get away with that shit. because they don't, you know, the scriptures say, the part of the title of the video was, what does it say? Looketh well to their flock. I'm merely paraphrasing. But one video recently I did it, and I went to the actual scripture. Looketh well to his flock. And I don't look at everybody because you got other camps that see what I don't see. The Most High doesn't look. The Most High has the Most High's eyes are the angels. Give me a second here. Let me do this right here. Okay, give me a second. Let me do it this way. See if it flocks comes up. Just put in the word flock. Flock of seagulls as a group. Knowing the state of your flock. Bible. Okay, here we go. Psalms. And I did this in another video. This is Bible Hub. Proverbs 27:23. Be sure to know the state of your flocks. That's not King James. Shepherds need to know the condition of the flock. Ephesians 4. Oh, Ephesians 4, that's beautiful. Know the state of your flock. That's not what it actually says, but I'm familiar with this. You know, every winded doctrine, perfecting of the saints. That's Ephesians 4 and 11. What does know the state of thy flock mean? A person who not only cares about their flock, but who also takes active steps to monitor their well-being. Right? So once you come into this truth, if you fall off from a camp, guess what your job is? To keep teaching. You don't say, well, Tahar made me fall off because Tahar was wicked and I don't even do this no more. Well, guess what? Okay, let's say I'm wicked. You keep pushing his word out. Right? It's November 1st. We're going to see what's happening. See how many people got their food stamps. That's going to be a purge right there. That's the purge. That movies came out. You saw it thinking this is a movie. It was actually predictive programming. Look that word up. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. Excuse me. Right? So, who are my eyes? My eyes are the rest of the men in GMS. I am their eyes. You know, somebody might not see something. Let's say he's in the Midwest or some camp in the Midwest. I'm not going to mention no state. Just using that as an example. Well, let's say in Florida. You got a couple of GMS Florida, a handful of GMS Florida camps, right? I might see something that the camp leader doesn't see, and I'm like, get in contact. I'll probably call somebody, call them up, blah, blah, blah. Normally, I'll get in contact with them, Apostle Rhymelop, and I say, yeah, find out what's going on with the situation. Now, he can go and find out, or he can put somebody, it's up to him. He can call somebody from Florida. Okay, this camp right here, these guys are not diligent like you. Let's find out what's going on. That's the eyes, man. So that's what IUIC, they're so worried about the numbers. They're doing the numbers thing. It's not about the numbers. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. You just saying we got camps all over the world, but go to them different camps. Ain't nothing popping with them other camps, especially out of state, because they're not of the elect. And my job is not to big you up. You understand? My job is not to big you up. If the spirit is on you, if the Holy Spirit touch you, you go. You know, you in auto drive. And you're supposed to be in maximum overdrive. And the reason why you don't do videos, because you don't see the end coming. I don't see no prophecies. Yeah, because you ain't looking. You watching booty shaking videos. Comedy things, and watching regular shows and not watching. I always watch the news. I'll put it on CNN. I'll put it on Fox News. I'll put it on the financial news. You got Bloomberg. You got what is it? You got MSNBC and you got CNBC. Yeah, CNBC, which is deals with financial news, which you get a lot of information. That's how I know about the gold. They always got the ticker tape with the price of the gold, the price of different stocks, price of silver. They have a lot of guests on, and most of those CEOs are CEOs of tech companies. Tech is the way to go. Everything gonna be technical. 15-minute cities. We here at GMS told you about the 15-minute cities first. You heard it first from us. We told you not to take the jump shot. We the first and major camp that taught that the MOTB is the micro C-hip. Don't take it. Anyway, so they just in the numbers thing, which that's not a good thing. You don't care about the state of your flocks. Let me see here. I don't know if y'all ever been on the farm. I've been on farms, and there's this one farm I went to, and I had my camera, and I even filmed it. There was a bunch of sheep, and they all looked the same. Then there was one sheep that looked aggressive from a distance, but when it was white, just like the sheep, and it just came up on me. But there was a fence there. It couldn't do nothing. It just ran and came. I said, man, sheep don't run like that. I said, that's a damn dog. That's the sheep dog. And the dog started barking at me because it's trained to watch. We're shepherds. You got the shepherd is really the dog. Then you got the owner of the dog, which he's the shepherd. But the dog, even Denzel said that in Training Day. He said to protect the sheep from the wolf, you got to become a wolf, and not so many words. And he said it 3 times, I think, or 2 times, with a harsh voice. He said to protect the sheep, you got to become a wolf. To protect the sheep from the wolf, you got to become the wolf, or something to that effect. The exact saying, you can look it up and you can drop it in the chat. You see? So anyway, so it's not just doing videos and let's take a trip down here and let's establish this, and see, we established this in Nigeria and we established this in this country in Kenya, but ain't nothing popping. Them guys are not of the elect. If they were of the elect, they would be constantly doing videos, man. If I do a video today and I don't do a video later, I'll be out there on the highways and the byways, and I should do 2 videos, but I'm out there, and then at night I might do another video. Sunday, kind of open. You're gonna get more than one video for show. And if I only do one video, I'm like, later on, I said, I got to do another video. Because we're in the home stretch. That's what you don't understand. give diligence to make thy what? Thy calling and election sure. And that ye all show the same diligence. Apostle Paul said that. Give diligence to make thy election sure. Apostle Peter said that. In Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 on down, it speaks about being lukewarm. A lot of you guys are lukewarm or cold. And not hot. Everybody that knows he's an Israelite, that thinks he's a prophet, that's been out there on the highways and the byways, you got to, every last one of you got to be on fire. And you're not. And you, IUIC, you should be ashamed at the fact that you brag that you got such a big, we got the numbers. But how many of them are of the elect? Anyway. See, I wanted to make this short, but it wound up being long. And I just made a video last night that I didn't even got late. I was getting sleepy. I made the video and I didn't even put it up. Give me a second. Oh, look at this. And our people are a fucking embarrassment, man. Let me just play you this here. Okay, this is the EBT dance. Some big swole black woman. I took the music off. This is embarrassing. Other people are fucking embarrassment. I'm going to hit this play. I'm running in there with my BET card 0. You better not get in my way. Most of them are black women. Guess what? Jake is not going to help you because you started the shit. 7 women shall take hold of one man. Isaiah 4:1. Okay, I guess this stands for 1,300 in food stamps. And there's one Edomite, one video I saw, an Edomite dude, with I think 4 kids. And he said he get almost $3,000 a month. Esau gets more than you in food stamps. Don't be surprised if you find out, it'll come out in the wash, that Edomites in the Bible Belt and so forth, they still getting their stamps, but you ain't getting no stamps. Remember, the focus is on Jake. Because some Edomite going, I got to be honest, I still get mine. And then Jake going to say, what? Oh, another thing. Nero's 47 said this. He says he wants a quick response team, meaning he wants either National Guard, National Guard, which is federal troops, which is his own personal army. Remember the Herodians? They had their own personal army. Herod's men of war. Look that up. Herod's men of war in the scriptures, and it'll pop right up. When the Lord got beat down and spat upon, it was Edomites, the personal army of Herod. Herod's men of war. So he said he wants to set up, these different ICE members, and now they got the, the border guards, they're in now. They're not even working with local police. They're kind of pushing them out the way, you know? But what else? National Guard, and they're just pulling people over, they're beating people up, throwing them against the wall. He's saying that he's saying, look, man, y'all ain't getting them quick enough. We need more motherfuckers to grab them up. We need to get these motherfuckers out of here. And he's messing with the apple of the Most High's eye, the Israelites. That's the wrong nation. He's not effing with any other nation. No Arabs. He hasn't mentioned nothing about Arab terrorists as sleeper cells. He ain't mentioned that. He ain't going after the KKK or the neo-Nazi groups. He's not going. They're not doing nothing wrong. He's going after Jake. He's not going after Elam. If you look, you got brothers, even certain brothers, even I think Apostle Ramlab kind of said, correct me if I'm wrong, he kind of said, well, time of Jacob's trouble is not here yet. Not so, he said it's kind of here, but it's not. I say it's here. The time of Jacob's trouble is here. This thing is not going to slow down. As long as this guy is in office, and I believe he's going to be the one to usher in the missiles. China's mad at him. China said they got a missile called a 61. 60 warheads and one hydrogen bomb. And whoever presented that, I made it short. He said we can hit anywhere on the planet Earth. And he was talking about Babylon. He said you will not. He said you will not get off the second shot. If you hit us with one shot, it's on. So they have the missiles for a reason, because they're gonna shoot them off. Russia has a missile system, long range missile system for a reason. They're gonna shoot it off. These third world countries that possess missiles, they're gonna shoot them off. These NATO and EU countries that possess missiles, they're gonna shoot it off. That's that lake of fire that John saw. Okay, 1,300 in food stamps gone to feed 5 kids, and as a mom, let's add that to the pile of shit. I have to figure it out. Ain't no men, not too many. You got men that got a fetish for big women. I like big women myself, but she a little too big. She a little too big. The back is too wide. You know, we like them thick, but she's a little too thick. You know? And all them cables coming out of her hair. Ain't nobody. You can look at her and she's hood like a motherfucker. Look at that. She's straight up hood. She's hood. She's not educated, uneducated. She's straight up hood. The hoop rings. She's straight up hood. And I guarantee you, them 5 children, and bless them little children's heart that have a mother like this. I bet you they're from about 3 different men. And she ain't got no man. Our people are fucked up. Are fucked up, man. Anyway, let me go ahead and find this. Damn, now I'm pissed off. I might have to go in the room and send it to me. Let me go ahead and see. Because it hyped me up, this video that the elder Malcolm did. Okay, let's open this up. I'll be watching y'all on Sundays, man. Y'all get together. I'll be watching y'all on Sundays. Give me a second, y'all. If I don't have it in my list, I'm going to be mad. But I'll go ahead and get it. See, these are all the as you can see. As you can see. Come on, man. I got to send this to myself. You know what? Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Bear with me for a minute. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Just bear with me for a minute. Forgive me for that. I just wanted to. Yeah, the black woman is a fucking embarrassment. Embarrassment. That's why nobody wants them. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this right here. Okay. Right here. Let me just see if it was passed to me. Okay, got it. So here we go. Okay, you know what? This is how many minutes? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me jump. Okay, I'm genuinely excited about the collapse of America, and you should be too. It's not coming back. The MAGA hat thing is not coming back. It's not coming back. He's not gonna make it great. It's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna be a great destruction. He's not gonna bring it back. He keeps defying the Most High, telling him that no, there ain't gonna be a third world war. There ain't gonna be this. God chose me. This place is gonna fall hard. Anyway, let me do this. I urge you to watch this whole video. I want to go right here. You know what? Let me do this here. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me just go ahead and play it from the top. I'm not gonna hit the whole thing.
Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than never. The would-be judges, the tabernacle of David, the 144,000, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes.
I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta watch this. This is Salt. Okay, this is Rava TV. Salt from Salt and Pepper proves modern women have zero. You know what kind of woman we talking about? Zero integrity. They dragged her for defending her man. Now, Salt was the one I had a crush on. I like, she had nice, pretty face, light skinned, little on the short side with them thick ass legs. You know how we like them legs. But I always liked her. Now I remember they did this. I'm gonna come back to the main subject. I remember they did a reality show, and she didn't want to be in it because she was a Christian. You know, she trying to be right. You know, trying to be virtuous. So I give her credit for that. But I just noticed that. I'm gonna watch this later. So, yeah, because Jake men, you gonna get humble because you know what? Jake men are ignoring you. They don't want to. They see a black woman. They already know that she's trouble. That it's not gonna end. You know, it's not gonna end well. You know. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let's come on back.
Of Israel. Right, that are to be the new judges here on earth under the authority of who the world fraudulently and falsely called JC, Yahuwah, and Yah. The name is Yahweh, Wah, Yahweh Shai, Wah meaning and. That is the proper name. There is no other names. All right, if you use another name, don't even come on my comment board. All right, that clearly you aren't studied. All right, and to the rest of the scattered elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth, among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. All right, the ones that the Lord are going to collect up and bring back from those lands where they're scattered to. This is not a black only thing. And to the few Akwaf, meaning the sisters that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another brutal lesson in truth. And this video will be called The End of Mount Seir, not the end of the Caucasus people. All right, because I got a AI skit that I get what they were trying to do, but they're off because that's teaching that lie. That's that, look, Europe sits in Asia. It always has. So I'm going to provide some receipts. All right, and Mount Seir was in the Levant. The Levant was is what they refer to fraudulently as the Middle East. The Middle East and Europe are false narratives that were created to support white superiority. All right, to support their doctrine. Okay, so-called white people did not come from Europe. They conquered it. Europe was full of brown people. Okay, they settled in it. And they were like, when they took Greece, they kept the name and started calling themselves Grecians. That history is not only in that book, that history can be found in your secular history, in your encyclopedias, in the Josephus, and most importantly, is found in the Bible. All right, it's found in the book of Maccabees, which is still in the Catholic Bible. All right, they removed it from, and all Christianity was born from Catholicism. So of the OG Christian set of Christianism, all right, because there's 35,000 different types of Christianity, and the father of them all is Catholicism, and Catholicism still has the Apocrypha in it, though they did remove the books of Ezra, because that kills their virgin birth garbage. All right, that kills that everybody can make it. But nevertheless, the point is that what they tried to do was hide the evidence. That was the Bible destruction group. Okay, that did that. As a matter of fact, let's get a scripture on that. This is Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So all these lies, are being put to rest right now. So I'm going to provide some receipts for two things that I said. Then I'm going to show you a short video that someone made of an AI. All right, and it really will make a mockery of the downfall of America and make a mockery of what it would be like if they rounded up all the Edomite immigrants that came here wrongfully, that colonized and stole, that are sitting on stolen property, stolen land, stolen wealth, and sent them back to the Caucasus Mountains. Well, that would be incorrect, because if you were going to send them back to their cave homes, you would send them back to Petra, which is known as Selah, which is also known as Mount Seir. I'm going to provide receipts for everything that I just said, for anyone who wants to speak against it. Okay? So, let's go to our receipts. All right, so I asked the question to AI about a week ago. And the question was, when was Mount Seir's name changed to Petra? And this is what it told me. It says, the Greek name Petra replaced the biblical name Selah, or Mount Seir. Gradually, not in a single or specific date, the change was a natural linguistic shift, as the city's Greek name, meaning rock, see, they're the same people, the Edomites. Because the Edomites they left Petra and they went to Greece and they conquered Greece. Duh. All right.
And they have all this history. They have records of everything. They know that they're the Edomites. They're super elite, the top biblical Bible scholars out there slash Christian scholars, the super elite, they everything that we say, they know. Jake don't want to believe it, but if Esau said it, they'll believe it. So, you got these Jake coming on TikTok talking shit. If Esau said everything that these guys been saying is the truth, they'll have a change of heart. But they're not of the elect anyway, so F them.
Meaning rock was used by the Hellenistic and Roman cultures that later dominated the region. All right, Selah is the name that appears in the Hebrew Bible. So when when you're reading Psalms 83 at the end of when it talks about the list of the group of nations that were confederate against the hidden ones, the Israelites, at the end of that it says Selah. All right, and this is their information. So here it is. So you can screenshot it, because I wouldn't be shocked if they go in and change things. Okay, so make sure you screenshot that. Next question. Well, actually, that pretty much serves it. You know what? Matter of fact, I don't even need to go into any further. That's enough for that particular thing. All right. So with that being said, right? Maybe I should say something about the Eagles. The afterlife. These carvings of the larger complex iconography that also includes.
Yeah, that what you see there, you don't see a full shot of it. That's Mount Seir. That's Petra. It's a tourist attraction in Jordan, in the Levant. Anyway, if you go to images, at one point you saw eagles perched on either side of the structure. Now it's hard to find it. You can't get. I remember when we started. We're talking about 2016 or whatever. I don't know, 2015, maybe even before that. I would do videos and I would go to Petra and I put in images. And give me a whole bunch of images, and you would clearly see that there's eagles, but they took them down, so you can hardly see the eagles. So you know why they did it? We believe that they did it because we've been telling them that, showing you in the videos that this is Esau's land. They're eagles. It goes back to Deuteronomy 28 and throughout the scriptures. Deuteronomy 28, 43 on down. It tells them it describes them as being like eagles. Roman Empire, eagles. Babylon the Great, eagle. Spain, eagle. All these, if not all, most of these these major empires was an eagle. But I don't think all of them. But we know Babylon, Rome, eagle. Petra, eagle, which are the Edomites. So the animalistic symbol of the Edomites would be the eagle. America, Babylon, the eagle.
Figures of Amazons and twins cast in public. The eagle was also a symbol of the Nabatean god Dushera. So this is the reason why Edom worships the eagle. So now that we did that, let's get to this video, which I found quite entertaining. Right, that I had enough to where I put it in the receipts. I won't keep it though. I'm gonna definitely delete it just to keep space. But the idea is correct. The place is wrong. So what I need you to do is replace Petra. Replace the Caucasus Mountains with Petra, because the Edomites are from Petra. They're from Mount Seir or Selah.
Back to where you began. The Caucasus Mountains. Build something better there.
Daddy, I don't want to go to the Caucasus Mountains. I want to stay here.
You are ordered to evacuate peacefully. The mountains await your rebuilding.
Who's the only nation or tribe, which is a nation, that can go before the world world authorities, the UN, the World Court, if there's whatever type of court, international, some court that deal with international matters, what nation or tribe can go to this particular court and say, we want everybody out of this land, this is our land, has the document to prove it, but we're going to only get rid of the so-called white race, which a lot of so-called Europeans, so-called white people are actually Jake too. Could be as much as half of them. You know, the person that you see in a lot of you camps, you a white man. He could be a Jake. He could be a Jake. Be more spiritual. But anyway, the only nation that could do that would be Gad, or the only tribe, which is a nation. The only tribe or nation that can do that are the Gadites. Because this guy's, Nero's justification is, oh, they're illegal. Well, they're illegally in a land that people that control it took it illegally by theft, rape, rob, and murder. Which there's no statute of limitation for that. So if these dignitaries, these people in the UN, the World Court, if they were sincere people and the GAG got together, so we want them out, guess what? They got to go. But guess what? They're going to stay because they got to get ate up by the fire. Babylon the Great will be destroyed by nuclear fire, by missiles, by ICBM missiles. And there's what's the acronym for submarine missiles? Because you got these submarines, Russian and otherwise, that possess missiles too. So there's going to be missiles coming up from out of the sea and coming from the heavens, and it's going to rain upon them. And they don't know that. If they they watch us, they know about us, but I guarantee you, some of them are saying, "What if this is all true?" And they know, they got all the information. They know that we're the people. They know that the ancient Israelites look like Negroes. There's one guy, older gentleman, I don't know if he worked from NASA or whatever, but they saw, I don't know if they saw a video of it recorded or they actually saw it, that the guy said that these beings came out and they were tall. They were 8 feet tall or taller, and the guy said they looked like African Americans. So the angels are African Americans. You fuck with the wrong nation. You fucked with the wrong nation. And your payment is what? Thermonuclear destruction. The end of Babylon the Great for good. For good. The you being capped, and that's the beginning. Now when you come back, you got to come back as you're going to be our slaves along with the other nations. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. That's a t-shirt right there. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. See, Jake is waking up. The person that put this together with AI, they don't know that they're, about Israel, and they probably know about it, but they think Caucasus. No. Caucasus, that's not their land. Their land is Mount Seir. It tells you in Isaiah 14 they're not going to have their own land. They're not going to have their own. Matter of fact, let me go to that because I want to read it in NLT and maybe the Amplified. I thought I was going to make a short video, wound up being a long video. Okay, Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. Teeman is no longer wise. Okay, give me a second here. You know what? Let me start from. You really should start from the top. All the kings of the nation, even all of them, lie in glory. Because we're gonna set order. We're not gonna just beat. We're not just gonna take Elamites and just beat the shit out of them all day. They're gonna be doing for us. It's not we're gonna just in the kingdom. We're just gonna be beating the shit out of people. But we will do. We will be kicking some ass. But they will mainly be our slaves under us. But thou art cast out of thy grave, like an abominable branch. Thy grave, your burial place is in Mount Seir, Petra. And as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, killed, put to death, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy own land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Because there's going to be a time where we're going to gather you up and utterly destroy you. Obadiah 1. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Well, that was my forefathers. Well, you got to pay for what your forefathers did. There's a thing, there's a concept, the reincarnation is a biblical concept. That they do not rise nor that's a cut on Nate. It said that they do not rise or possess the land. So God ain't gonna get us. Nor fill the face of the world with cities, for I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon. Which Babylon is it talking about? The name, remnant, and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water. I will sweep it with the besom or the broom of destruction. Jeremiah was at Jeremiah 50, if I'm not mistaken, a destroying wind. Besom of destruction is the destroying wind, which is the missiles, saith Yahweh of hosts. So let's get back into this. Let's get back into this. Come on, man. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I exited out by mistake. Give me a second, y'all. Come on now. Oh, this guy, by the way, you can go to my latest video, the one with Nero on it. This guy right here, Waunias, Judah, Israel, blah, blah, blah. This is Deacon Ethan of the IUIC, the real tall brother. This is what he says. He raids my comment section. The RFID microchip is nothing more than an electronic tracking device and nothing more. Yeah, but what does it fulfill a prophecy? That's my question. Does it fulfill a prophecy? If everybody on the planet Earth gets this particular microchip, then it has to be a fulfillment of prophecy. You know, if everybody woke up the next morning and everybody's missing their index finger, there has to be a prophecy, right? I mean, that was a stupid example, but yeah, because he's not sleeping well. Democracy is a sinful kingdom. Oh, this guy. Let me see. Whenever the Holy Scriptures of the Holy Bible is written in English language to be read by us, all who are Israelites in the English language, then it should be read verbatim in the English language. Okay, good. So you guys all have them hillbilly Hebrew names. So don't call yourself. If your name was Bob, call yourself Bob. Yeah, this guy's hurting. He's losing sleep. He knows that the mark of the beast is the microchip. The hell? And look at it. It's got to be like 30. What is it? 30. You got to be like almost 30. All right, he says make tassels. You guys don't have tassels. Fringes is different from tassels. On the four corners of your garment, where you don't wear. You guys don't have tassels, and you don't have a phylactery. And you don't have a sword on your side. You don't have a paddle on your side. Yeah, he's hurting. He comes on quite a few of my videos with nothing but comments. Right, Christ. You said that everything should be verbatim in English, right? Well, the word Christ is a Greek and or Latin word. So you should say only when the chosen one returns, who are all elect of Israel, are all in New Jerusalem, will we all who are Israelites of Israel, will all of our flesh be perfect and keep the Most High's laws perfectly. Yeah, he's hurting. For one heretic calling out other heretic is as equivalent to the teapot calling the kettle black. Well, where are we? How are we heretics? Now our knowledge is partial, and the beast is also known as the man of sin. So therefore, now his mark and not his art. He's gone. You're gonna probably drop dead when it's time to take that chip. You know that we correct, but you in denial, and you're being wicked. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. But you can go to this page and get all you can do a response. You can do a video off of his comments. He's done. So here we go.
You are ordered to evacuate peacefully. The mountains await your rebuilding. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. Evacuate peacefully. The mountains await your rebuilding. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with. This is a troglodyte we're dealing with.
They said we gotta leave tonight. They're taking us to the mountains. Tell them we're family. They said we gotta leave tonight. They're taking us to the mountains. Tell them we're family. I don't want to go to Caucasus Mountains. I want to stay here.
All Caucasoid partners report to processing.
Repeating.
She's my family! You can't decide who I love! Move them, now!
You leave tonight to the Caucasus.
Every American citizen.
Jake got an Edomite wife, and she got to go back to the Caucasus. It's not going to end well for you Edomites. That's a topic right there. That's a talking point.
Of European descent will be relocated.
They can't really do this, can they?
For the sake of this nation, they will go. And they will endure.
They're sending us to freeze.
Then we don't freeze. We survive.
We never meant no harm. You should have said something when harm was done.
But the truth of the matter is, there is no such thing as a Caucasoid nation. They are the biblical Edomites, and they're going to have to bear and wear that name. They name themselves Caucasoids. All right, this is they named themselves white in 1681. Prior to that, they named themselves Romans and Greeks. Anything and everything to escape the fact that they are the Edomites. All right, there is no hope for them. So we're gonna play this video of Jason Williams here, and it's called, the name of the video is called "Why I'm Excited About the Collapse of America" by Jason Williams. I repeat it again. Why am I excited about the collapse of America? If you want to find the video, go on YouTube and type it in. Here we go.
I am naive. Like, I don't understand. When the banks close their doors, when the Met stops working. But I do understand. I've thought about it deeply. I know how it's going to look when the illusion finally breaks. Some people will panic.
Actually, he doesn't. It's going to be way worse than he thinks it is. And he thinks it's going to be bad. But just to make it clear, because he still, in his carnal mind, thinks that we're going to rebuild or something here. This place is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Babylon will be utterly destroyed. The land of Israel will be utterly destroyed. According to the Bible, not according to me. The difference is that the land of Israel will be rebuilt again. All right, to be the headquarters, all right, of the kingdom of heaven here on earth as it is in heaven. All right, that's a fact. But America will be a memorial. Babylon the Great will be a memorial to remind people what happens when you come against the one power, which is Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and his people, the true Israelites.
Some people will fight. Some people will freeze. Because most of them have never lived without the system holding their hand. And people always say, you ain't never been without the system. You don't know what it's like without America. You say you want revolution, but you don't know what it's like, okay? You don't know what it's like. But the people who say that are so immersed in this matrix that they do not even realize that they are a captive too. If they did, they'll be just as desperate as the rest of us to escape.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem, all right? Because these people don't realize that they are captives. They think that they are free, and they're not. You're being used, all right? The bankers have set up a system, the little hats, which they're extorting everyone. They control your government, your decisions, everything. All right, both positive and negatives, and there's way more negatives than there are positives. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 7:7, and it reads, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart," meaning the mind. See, they give you goodies, and then it destroys your mind. You don't even realize that you're being used and abused. All right, verse 8: "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in the spirit is better than the proud in the spirit." So we have to be patient, and the patience is paying off because we're literally watching the downfall and the destruction of the prison planet, which in the prison grip that Babylon has over the people and over the whole compass of the world, which is why the world is rising up against them. All right, everybody's tired of living by their forced rules, all right, and their supposed freedom, which isn't freedom at all. Well, they can use their economic system and their military to force you to live your life under their boot.
Because when you're a captive, your first concern isn't comfort. It's freedom. You don't care what the unknown looks like. All you know is that you can't keep living in this cage. You'd rather face the unknown than die in a world that is already soulless. And that's what people don't seem to get. We're not running towards destruction. We're running towards liberation.
Wow.
And the only way that we can get there is through collapse. And so be it. But my excitement, that's not ignorance. That's awareness. That's clarity. That's me understanding exactly what the system is, how it operates, and how much destruction it has caused to every living thing on this planet. The system isn't just broken.
He's right, because not only people are struggling, but the plant life is struggling. The animal kingdom is struggling and dying and suffering. Everything is suffering under the rule of these so-called white people, and they refuse to acknowledge it or see it. All right, they have cognitive denialism to the max. Cognitive denialism. This is Ecclesiastes 1:17. I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is a vexation of the spirit. We're constantly vexed every day. All right, seeing all this weirdness that we're forced to see, the things that we're forced that our children, you know, most people can't afford to send their children to private schools. So in the public schools, you have to endure your child being exposed to, you know, all kind of weirdness, story time weirdness. You know, all these crazy. Look, there. If you either pee standing up or you pee sitting down. There's only two genders, man. If that offends you, oh well. All right, it could be confused with you. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I'm a man trapped. Shut your ass up. This is Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increase of knowledge increase of sorrow. So the more you begin to understand, the more sorrowful you are. And then most of the time you can't even speak up on these things because you get labeled, you know, and you get put in an anti-semantics category. You get put in a racist category. You get put in you know, some negative, even a T word, anti-American. And then what is American these days? You know, what does your government do? It goes out and it colonizes and oppresses, murders, and takes other people's shit, and then label them a T word if they try to defend themselves and hold on to what's theirs and keep you from taking it. That's pretty much what happens.
It's parasitic. It's been feeding on the earth. It's been feeding on the minds of the people. It's been feeding on the energy of entire civilizations. It's anti-nature, anti-truth, anti-life.
Damn.
It made greed a virtue and called it success. It made disconnection feel like freedom. It turned people into workers, into consumers, into dependents instead of creators. So when I say I'm excited about the collapse, it's not because I'm ignorant to what's coming next. It's because I understand what's ending. What's ending is the American experiment, the toxic mix of capitalism and white supremacy that has sucked the life out of the earth and has poisoned humanity.
That's
this
right.
thing has been a virus on planet Earth since day one.
And remember, white people, there is no such thing. That is a false social construct that they made up in 1681. The same as they made up the false social construct of blackness. This man will be referred to as a black man when his skin is physically and visibly brown. And he's a light brown, like a caramel color on top of that. All right? This man is not black at all. All right? Okay? His skin is brown. A light brown, like a tan. As a matter of fact, he will be categorized tawny. All right? If he was being categorized, you know, in the 15 to 1600s, they would call him tawny. Okay? Because there are people that are much darker than him, even though they're the same race as him. Those people will be called swarthy. Swarthy. So they took the word swarthy and tawny and replaced it with black. All right? I saw two pretty Indian girls yesterday, Elamite girls. Two of them. They both were gorgeous, physically. Very pretty. They both were about 5 shades darker than me. They were much darker than him, but they're not called black. And you people still buck up against that evidence, against that truth, against that fact when it's presented to you. They labeled you that, just as they labeled themselves white. All right? And black has a very negative overtone to it. All right? When you put black in front of any word, it makes everything after it negative. So when they call you black, they're calling you grotesque, ugly, negative, immoral, murderous people. All right? So instead of black people, murderous people. Instead of black people, grotesque people. Instead of black people, ugly people. You know, call the negative adjective. Because that's what it means. Wake up. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 38. And it reads, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bring forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon every side. The birth pains of destruction have begun. It is only going to get worse. All right? When that water breaks or that first pain and the woman gives you that look, and you start running to the car to try to get her to the hospital so she can have this baby, the birth of that baby of destruction is coming. And the birth pains have started, and it will not turn back. There's no way out of this.
It destroys everything that it touches. It feeds off suffering and calls it growth. It built wealth from genocide, from slavery, from war, and called it civilization.
Yep.
It disconnected people from spirit. From
and be proud of it. And we'll try to shit on everyone else's culture, because their culture isn't a culture of rape, rob, murder, and genocide, of land theft and identity theft. These people are proud in their wickedness.
Nature from themselves. It made humans believe they were machines, made to produce, consume, repeat, then die. It made the world sick, mentally, physically, spiritually. And that is what's ending. The idea that domination equals progress. The idea that money is more important than life. The idea that some people were born to rule and others were born to serve. All of that is over. That mindset already...
Actually, he's kind of going off a little bit, because that is the truth. It's just that the righteous aren't in rulership. The wicked are. Job 9:24. The earth was given in...
You know, you got these Jakes putting these AI videos together, and this individual right here talking. They see it, but they can't put it together. You know, they'll talk about how this man, this and that, and he got to go down, and this, that, and the other. He doesn't know what the future brings. He just has his hope. But then when they see the Israelites, we ain't dealing. That's why you tell them the truth. They can't. If they don't understand the truth, you let them go. Let them go. Don't. If you talk to somebody and he keeps bucking up, but what about this and what about that, and you let him go. You said, look, we ain't going. This ain't going nowhere. Goodbye.
To the hand of the wicked, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? That's the problem, that the wicked are in rulership, and the scriptures clearly say that when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The world is in constant and never-ending mourning, including the animals. With the amount of shit that they spray, and the 5G turned all the way up, the headaches and the dizziness and the sore throats and the cold-like symptoms, and they keep spraying this shit in the sky while they're not giving, and it's costing billions to keep fueling those planes and spraying those chemicals. But they have money for that, but they don't have money to...
And I'm going to just say this here. Fuck you goddamn Christians. We do not deal with Christians. Call the cops on them. Get away from them. We don't deal with them unless they got a bag. In other words, you want to sit down and have an interview, 50 G's. 50 racks. Because we're doing it for the money. We're not doing it to try to wake you up. Because you ain't going to get woken up. Almost 2026. 2 months. Counting down. 2 months. It'll be 2026. Anybody that's a Christian... the Most High going to destroy you.
You know, to give you people WIC and SNAP and EBT. They got money to keep sending to Israel and Ukraine, but they don't have money to take care of his own citizens.
It collapsed. That illusion is what's dying now. And as it dies, the planet itself is starting to breathe again. You can feel it in the storms, in the chaos, in the millions of people waking up and finally saying, enough. This isn't...
He sees it, but he doesn't see it. Now, he said something. I was in another room. Anyway, let me go to Isaiah. Let me go back to Isaiah 14. He said either him or the elder said something about the trees or the plants not growing right, something like that. See, Isaiah 14, you really gotta do the whole chapter. You really got to start from the first verse. I mean, it says a whole lot in Isaiah 14. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. It's talking about Esau's pomp. Even though it does not mention Esau, we know that it's talking about Esau, the Edomites. and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee. Corrosion, corruption, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now people get offended when you say, they think Lucifer means Satan. No, Lucifer just means old day star, bright morning star. That first star that comes up in the north in the morning, they used to call it Lucifer. And it just means bright star. Now when our Lord comes back, he's also going to be called a Lucifer, bright and morning star. Because this star is going to fade, and a new star is going to come out, which is Yahweh Shai, who the world called Jesus Christ. And that was a man that wasn't even a prophet said that, but he prophesied named Balaam and Balak. He said, he used the word star. Now let me do this. Let me go to the Hebrew, since this is in the Old Testament. I mean, you men have been in this thing, and sisters have been in this thing for years. You know what I'm singing to the choir. This is some of you newer people. So Lucifer is not a negative word. It just means light bearer. If there's a blackout and I have a big lantern, guess what? I become Lucifer. I'm the light bearer. Lucifer. Let's look up the word Lucifer. Light bearer. Boom. Light bearer. And the word is Ha-Yalal. Ha-Yalal. Hey, Lyle. Let me see how he says it.
Strong's H, 1966. Haleo. Haleo.
Close, but no cigar. Hayalal. 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 This in the sense of brightness. Right, it says in the brightness of his coming, right? Lucifer, light bearer, shining one, morning star. Lucifer, one of the kings of Babylon, which is the king of the current king of Babylon. I did a video on that. And Satan. Satan just means the enemy. Hillel, describing the king of Babylon. He's a light bearer. And this is not talking about the king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, because that was a surgical strike. So now, okay, so let me go to Numbers 24. Numbers 24. Let me do this. Star. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, which is the Messiah, and a scepter, as Jeremiah 49, shall rise out of Israel. And this goes to Genesis 49. Revelation 12, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession. Now Edom means the land. We're going to possess that land. That's Amos 9. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. I did a video where the Most High gonna put a lion-like spirit back in Jake, and the Most High gonna put a heavy spirit on Jake, man, and they're not gonna stop. Nothing's gonna stop them. That's why these Edomite women would look like they want to get with us, because they know in their spirit, intuition tells them that they're gonna be the next rulers. They knew that back in the Roman Empire. 95 A.D. Domitian knew that their kingdom was dying. It was the Flavian dynasty, which consisted of the father Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. They knew that the kingdom was going down after the 4 kings took out inside of a year, of 3 kings, and one emerged. And what they did was, people were saying, just like they're saying now, Babylon is done. This Babylon, they were saying Roman's done. Roman's done. And it was done because Jake took over. When you go to 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and 2nd Ezra chapter 12, which no other camp knows it. Some of them know it now because I did put the videos up on YouTube, so you saw the videos or you figured it out. Anyway, both of those chapters go into the Roman Empire, from Julius Caesar to Domitian Caesar, and when it ends, the eagle is cast on fire. Some to that effect. I think it's in the 12th chapter. They'll say, "Well, that's talking about America." Nope, it has nothing to do with America. 2nd Ezra 11, 2nd Ezra 12 has absolutely nothing to do with America. That's something that took place when it started again. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Okay, I'm at the gateway, so let me go to the gateway. Can I get the Apocrypha here? Let me do this. Let me try it this way. I don't know if I can get. I never use this site. Let me go 2nd Ezra. I'm sorry. Esdras. Okay, 2nd Ezra's. I believe it's 12. Let's see what happens. If not, I'll go to the... okay, it does come up. I'm sorry, let me do this here. Okay, so the people went into the city and told the field 7 days plant. Trying to find the point most. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. I'm more familiar with the other version. Put in the word eagle. L-E. Okay, let me go down here. Okay. And the whole body of the eagle was burnt, and the earth was filled with fear. That's not talking about America. That's talking about when this man was taken down. When Jake came in. That's what that's talking about. But I'm not going to go all into it. All right. Where are we? Come on back. Oh, so when Balak saw this, he saw the Lord coming back. He saw the downfall of Babylon the Great. And he said, a star Jacob, and a scepter shall raise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth, and Edom shall be a possession. So all those nations, this guy is saying, let me tell you what these people are going to do at the end of this thing. They're going to destroy everything around them. Every nation, they're going to put them in subjection. Right? It said, Genesis 49, until Shiloh come, right? And to him shall the gathering of the people be. The Shiloh is Yahweh Shai. Let me go to scepter. Scepter is a symbol for rulership, but it's also a symbol of bashing people down. You get rulership by bashing another nation down. Like Nero declaring war against Venezuela. Those are Israelites. Those are the elect of Israel. Scepter. Let's look up the word scepter. The word is Shabbat. Shabbat. Rod, staff, branch, offshoot, club, scepter, tribe, rod, staff, shaft, or of spear, dart, club, of shepherds, implement, truncheon, scepter, mark of authority, clan, tribe. Now it says with a rod of iron, right? Let me do this. Bear me for a minute. I don't know if this is going to be New Testament or the New and Old Testament. Bear me for a minute. Right. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. The rod, Esau has a rod now. He has a scepter. I just wanted to see if this is in the New Testament as well. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? And try it this way. Old and New Testament precepts that come up. Yep. Okay, right here. And the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor. Rejoice not thou, O Palestinian, because the rod of him that smote thee, Esau, is broken. The Palestinians represent, in a nutshell, the Arab world. You ain't the people. Isaiah 30:31. Shall the Assyrians be beaten down with smote with a rod? So a rod is a scepter of rulership, but it's also something to beat you down with. The portion of Jacob and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. I am the man that hath seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. So a rod or scepter serves two purposes. That means I'm in rulership. I can hold that rod up, make decisions, make decrees, and I can also beat you down with it. Oppress you with it. This is what I wanted. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Who's going to rule them? The ones that are of the elect, the Israelites. Revelation 12, here it is again. And she brought forth a man child, which you read about that in Numbers, right? Who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto the Most High, and to his throne, It said when he's going to rule with a rod of iron, meaning he's going to beat the nations down, and we're going to rule with rods of iron. We're going to, all of us, have rods of iron as well. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's Israel putting the other nations, starting with Esau, under subjection. So that's why this brother right here could see it, but he can't see it. Let's listen on.
And as a neurodivergent black man living in America, I have my own reason.
You see, he called himself a black man. It goes to show you how much he does not know.
To be excited about this collapse. Because for me, this isn't just another chapter in history. This is karmic balance. One of the biggest lies that this country ever told was about us. About who we are and where we came from.
That's
it
true.
Seemed like all of us came here on ships. That we were all outsiders to this land. But the truth is, many of us were already here before Columbus showed up.
That's
we were
true.
the original peoples of this land. The first caretakers. The First Nations before they rebranded the word native. And this is not to discredit or take away from those who are recognized as Native Americans. Our stories run alongside theirs. Not against them. It's just that somewhere along the line, they made an agreement with the same system that conquered us both.
Actually, they didn't make an agreement at all. They were conquered and put into slavery right along with their brothers who came here after them. All right? The Israelites came here to the west. This is the rabbis identified America as Asareth, and many Israelites were reclassified as Negroes, same as natives were reclassified Negroes. The Northern Kingdom went through different captivities. All right, they went through captivities with different heathens, was give them a different look. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's really that simple. But they're the same people. All were speaking broken Hebrew. All came over here with ancient Hebrew relics that came from the from the east. The pyramids in South America had the same exact measurements as the pyramids left behind in Giza. Okay, and the pyramids here in the Americas that they call them mounds because they just let to hide them. They just let nature grow right over them. Okay. I was about to.
I didn't know that about the measurements, but I did climb the top of the mountains, the pyramids down there in Mexico City. I actually went down there and climbed it. You got to climb it like a snake. You got to slither up the top of it. And like I said, when they first noticed it, they thought it was a mountain. When they dug, they realized it was pyramids. I believe there was two: the pyramid of the sun and the pyramid of the moon, if I'm not mistaken.
Grab something and oh yeah, the Lord brought it back. Which is an act of 1682, because in 1681, all right, you had the guess I can show this. This is Montezuma. All right. And this is what the natives look like. You know, this is actually in a museum.
Now check this out. That's a Negro right there. Now when I went to Mexico, you saw every once in a while you would see a Mexican with a straight up afro and looked just like a Jake. You talk to him, I don't speak Spanish. Straight up, there's an Afro, I guess you call it Afro Mexican people down there, which they kind of look like Jake, but they speak perfect Spanish. So look at that. Look at that.
I think it's in Spain or Portugal. All right. But these were the images. And see, they had on that gold and those golden crowns. All right. Before the Spaniards came over and raped them until they looked like the people who identify as native now, because of all the Spaniard and Dutch, well, not the Dutch, but all the Spaniard and Portuguese rape for hundreds of years of rape to lighten them up. All right. But this is what they looked like when Columbus landed in the Americas. All right. And they're the same as the so-called Negro. They're the same people. Okay. Trying to find that act of 1682. The receipt for it. Because in Virginia is where this took place. When a year after, here it is. And this you can go and research, okay? Virginia passed 2 acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and African Americans into one category as Negroes. The Negro Indian, all right, and the slave trade Negroes. I just gave you the evidence of both. You can see the images of them both. All right, you can want to screenshot that if you don't have it. And a year before that.
See, the spirit is heavy on the elder Malcolm. He goes into a lot of those books. He'll spend all kind of money. If there's a book that's $500, he'll buy the book, the ancient book or whatever. That's his spirit. And I used to be like that, you know, but I don't get into that. Well, I leave it up to him. Leave it up to him. But this you can't. This is why they'll demonize us, but they won't sit down with us, with the scholars, because they'll get fucked up. They'll get fucked up. There's two. This is why when you go to Google, you go back 10 years, you can find a lot of things in Google that you can't. You go back. Oh, I remember 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Let me go back to it, and it's not there no more. They take it down. Hey, when we used to do 10 years, 8 years ago, you go yoke of iron, not Deuteronomy 28, whatever yoke. You just put in yoke and iron, and then you hit images, and it'll be nothing but Jake with yokes of iron on them. Now, when you hit it, it might be about 4 or 5 pictures, and then the rest of them have nothing to do with the yoke of iron around the neck. So we're making them change, take things down. So that's why when we give you this truth, you got to get it, and you got to eat. You got to eat the roll. You got to eat the roll.
Esau Edom, the so-called white man, labeled himself white, first time in law that it was written into documentation of this new category of humanity called white people. They were the Edomites. It's as simple as that. Let me get a couple more scriptures and we get ready to wrap this up. Because he speaks a lot of truth in this video, but then he goes and speaks, you know, a lot of opinion that can't be backed up by scripture. All right, but this is Isaiah 13 and 8, and it reads, "And they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as the woman that travaileth, and that shall be amazed one of another, their faces shall be as flames. Behold, Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, and lay the land desolate, and shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations shall not give their light, sun shall be darkened at his going forth. The moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. I will lay low the haughty and the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir." And what man was that? Not any man, but men of the elect, because they will be lifted up above. That standard will be lifted up, and these things won't bother them. They will be able to survive in these times. And if you're not joined unto them, one of their many wives or women that fall under their umbrella, oh well, all right. You're gonna be like a whore in a Roman brothel, getting passed around all night by 30 to 50 men. It says, "Therefore I will make the heavens and the earth shall remove out of her place, and in wrath Yahweh of hosts in the day of fierce anger. And it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up." See, there's not going to be no shepherd to take up you sheep running around. That's what you people are going to be like. Sheep running around while they're wolves and big cats and bears just snatching you up and ripping you to pieces.
Yeah, we call that roadkill. No man taketh up. Oh, that thing is all shot to shit.
All right, that's how you're going to be like a prey. "And it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, and they shall every man turn to his own people and flee one into his own land." So those that can leave will leave, but then people will gravitate toward people that they look like, even though that don't necessarily mean that you're the same people. All right, you got to remember, there are terrors among all races. Okay? There's tears. And that reason there are tears is mainly because of Esau, Edom. All right? So there's no escaping what's about to happen. And only if the Spirit of the Lord is with you are you going to make it through this. And the Lord is going to make you suffer before your destruction. This is not going to come quick. All right? Yeah, there's even a scripture that says people will seek, to end their lives, but death is going to flee away from them. The Lord is going to make you suffer. This is 2 Ezra 16:73. Then it shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. He said, like the fine gold that you fast. All right? Gold, the way you try gold is with fire. So there's going to be no.
The ultimate trial is the MOTB. That's you're going to see if you're going to pass that test and not take it, even at the point of death. That's the ultimate test.
Rapture. You don't get raptured out of the destruction. All right? You have to go through it and then be rescued. That's why it says those who endure until the end, those shall be saved. It says nothing about being rescued from the tribulation. You have to go through the tribulation. All right? That's you being tried in the fire. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahakodas, Kwam, Yasharala, Abad, Babal.
Anyway, I'm gonna close it. Shalom on to the next. Shalom.